Welcome to Ind AS 105, non-current assets held for sale and discontinued operations. Next slide. Non-current assets. An asset is non-current which is not a current asset. Held and used, expected to be used for more than 12 months after the reporting period. When one non-current asset is acquired, the purpose is it will be used in the business for generating revenue because it will be used in the production of goods and services, and the carrying amount will be recovered either through depreciation or amortization. So that is held and used, expected to be used for more than 12 months after the reporting period. It will be used in the business. What is held and sell? When its carrying amount will be recovered principally through a sale transaction rather than through continuing use. It will be no longer will be in use in the business. They are discarded from the use. The asset will be sold. So we need to make a discrimination that particular asset, it is used in the business, it is not used in the business, meant for immediate sale. That means what? What is meant to be sold? First of all, we need to remember that this will not be a part of the current assets. And there has to be a separate heading in the balance sheet. One PPE item, yes, under non-current asset. One part is sold, there has to be a separate classification. Non-current asset held for sale. That means there will be three broad heading in the balance sheet. Non-current assets, current assets, and at the bottom non-current asset or assets held for sale. Next slide please. Disposal group. What is a disposal group? A group of assets to be disposed of by sale or otherwise, together as a group in a single transaction, and liabilities associated as those assets that will also be transferred in that transaction. There can be single asset sold. We say non-current asset held for sale. The moment we call this disposal group held for sale means assets having some related liabilities, and they will be sold together, asset with those related liabilities in a single transaction. Now, disposal group can be what? A single cash generating unit, a group of cash generating units, and part of a cash generating unit. Now we need to know what is a cash generating unit. Cash generating unit. What is a cash generating unit? These are smallest identifiable group of assets. Smallest identifiable group of assets. They generate cash flows. They generate cash flows on their own. And most important is largely independent of the cash flows from other assets or group of assets. So, smallest identifiable group of assets, they can generate cash flows on their own, largely independent of the cash flows from other assets or group of assets. So, it can be a single cash generating unit, it can be a group of cash generating units, it can be a part of a cash generating unit. Next, firm purchase commitment. First thing is, a decision to sell is not a sale unless or until there is a firm purchase commitment. It is an agreement with an unrelated party. Agreement with an unrelated, what does it mean? That it has to be an orderly transactions. There is no related party transaction between market participants. Binding on both parties and usually legally enforceable. Binding on both parties and legally enforceable, that specify all significant terms, including the price and the timing of the transaction, and includes a disincentive for non-performance that is sufficiently large to make performance highly probable. What is highly probable? Significantly more likely than probable. First thing is, for each party there is one right, one obligation. Entity has a right to receive money for sale, obligation to deliver those non-current assets held for sale. And the entity that will buy, it has an obligation to pay for this and right to get those assets. First part. Second part is what? There is not much non-performance risk. Failure to perform will warrant penalty, which may be significant. So, before cancelling that agreement, they need to think. Include disincentive for non-performance that is sufficient large to make performance highly probable. So, anybody fails to perform, that will warrant penalty, which may be a significant one. Next slide. In the absence of the firm purchase commitment, an entity must ensure the following: management commitment to the selling plan. Management should make an announcement, yes, this thing will be decided, this asset will not be used in the business, it is held for sale, maybe along with some related liabilities. Number 2, active marketing efforts for the assets. Otherwise, how people come to know that these are sold? The company has to get the maximum possible price. Assets marketed at fair value. What is fair value? That is market-based measurement, not entity-specific measurement. Ind AS 113, fair value measurement. The price that they can receive in an orderly transaction between market participants. Completion of the sale transaction expected within 1 year of the classification. They need to sell within 1 year. Sufficient changes or withdrawal of the selling plan, unlikely. It is unlikely they will reverse their decision. One asset discarded, again it will be used in the business. It will be very remote likelihood.